Robert Sim Show.
Yeah, this is Ben Topper calling in.
Ben Topper, how you doing,
What's
dude?
going on, Ben?
I'm doing well. First I called, I got a locksmith. I didn't know what was going on.
You're an actor and director from Hollywood, right, Ben?
Yeah, that's correct. Jumping into my limousine right now.
Nice. We got a driver if you need. His name is Lamborghini.
Yeah.
He actually is the Lamborghini. Like, it's just going to be a car with eyes that pulls up to you. Like,
Oh, I was thinking of rickshaw. I didn't think like he was actually gonna like be on all
like
fours.
Knight Rider. He's like Knight Rider.
Rickshaw made in Italy. I like those.
He is. He is Italian.
Yeah,
They come with their own pasta on the back.
we do. It's a
Cooking
Ferrari.
on the back there. They're just cooking on the back.
He just got a tramp stamp.
Ducati. It's a Ducati rickshaw.
It's the Bacardi bet.
How long have you been acting for, Ben?
All my life, ever since I was born. I mean, it's like I'm trying to be something else all the time. Never happy with it. But professionally, I actually paid my way through law school doing TV commercials.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I saw. Were you in a Snickers commercial?
Yeah, that was
That's
me.
cool. That's cool, dude. When I was looking you up, I was like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, anything with chocolate or nuts, I'm involved in. Whether it's for money or not. Cover me in chocolate or promise to cover me, I'm there.
So you've been in a couple porn commercials.
Sounds like a fondue. Or
Oh,
a
yeah,
fondant.
it's like it's called the Jew-do. They just wrap the Jew in some chocolate and matzo balls, and there you
go. That's great. Oh man, what are you currently working on, Ben?
Yeah, so, I just directed and wrote a film called Taking Liberty, which is a mockumentary in the style of Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman, the Christopher Guest movies. It's about a guy from Brooklyn, actually, who poses as a doctor, he poses as a lawyer, and he steals the Statue of Liberty.
That's amazing.
So we're in the process of editing that thing.
Nice.
That's fucking cool, man.
Nice. Where is that going to be available?
Well, first we have to edit it, so I'm hoping it's going to be available by the end of March. We're doing what we call an assembly edit first, where we're just putting the pieces in chronological order. The whole movie was improvised, so the problem is, it's a good problem to have, but there's so much good footage that it's difficult to cut out the stuff that is not absolutely amazing.
Wow.
You gotta
So it's taking a long time.
You gotta release two versions.
That's
you have the regular version, the director's cut, where you just throw everything.
Everything.
6-hour-long movie.
Cut.
Yeah. What have you ever done a mockumentary before, or like a real documentary, or like?
Yeah, well, I started out doing a real documentary when I was practicing law. I was very involved in the justice system, and I did a film called The Injustice System in America. It's a kind of a negative story about how the thing was handled from a distribution perspective, but it was on Netflix. It did really well, and luckily I've recently retained the rights. So I got them back. So
Cool.
now I'm going to be probably putting it up on like Amazon Prime or something like that. I've got a legit distributor now.
Cool.
And that whole process of making a real documentary really helped me making a phony documentary. It kind of translated really well.
That's amazing.
How long did you practice law for?
Oh, for about 7 years. I worked with a guy named Melvin Bello. He was the guy who represented Jack Ruby. And Jack Ruby was the guy who killed Lee Harvey Oswald on television, and then he still tried to go to trial on it. It's like, are you kidding me? Millions of people saw this guy got shot. What kind of defense are you going to... it was a bad, everybody was watching the wrong program, or it was bad reception. I don't know, but that's what Mr. Bello on the map. And I guess my ex-wife, my wife at the time, better advice that don't work for this guy. He's just going to burn you out. But I was impressed by the guy's status as a lawyer and the fact that he was on. Yeah, and then he was on Star Trek too. So that was really the culminating factor in deciding to go to work for him. He used to fall asleep at his desk. He was like in his 80s, and he would like chattering lines from Star Trek. He's like, "Mr. Bella, you're not on the set right now." "Oh, okay, thanks." And dogs would start pissing on my leg. He had like 8 dogs running around the office. It was a fucking zoo. So it was a good experience.
I'm actually a big Trek fan.
Yeah, our buddy here, our intern, Lamborghini, he's a big Star Trek fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, Mr. Bella was, I think, played some kind of a lord or something, but he always, when he was walking down the street in San Francisco, which is where I practiced, people never recognized him as a lawyer. They just called him out by his Star Trek name. And then he would go back to the office and start yelling at his secretary as if he was this Lord of Zaz or whatever it was. "Joyce, tell those dogs to quit pressing on my briefs, for God's sake." It's like, "Mr. Bella, I can't control the dogs. What do you have dogs running around the office for?" "Oh, damn, another one just crapped on the eggs, didn't complain." "Get those dogs away from the paperwork."
Did Shatner ever show up?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure he was like, in bed with Shatner on some level. That would be an ugly picture, though, because Mr. Bello was about 400 pounds, I think, when he passed away.
Shatner
Like
help
700 pounds on one mattress. I don't know. You have to have like a absurd extra sleeper for that voyage.
Didn't Shatner get away with pool murder? Didn't he drown an ex-wife or something?
They found her.
Yeah, probably. Maybe Bello represented him for that. Who knows? But his biggest crime is trying to present himself as a legit actor. I think that's,
Or a musician. His fucking songs.
Oh, my God, yeah. Like when he's singing, it's supposedly to dream the impossible dream. Like, Bill, stop it, man. Make your Priceline commercials and leave me alone.
And I think it's going to be a long, long time. Rocket Man.
Imagine all the people living. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm just stealing all your dough.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Did you work in radio too, Ben?
I did. Early on, I was actually a news director for a very small market radio station up near Chico, California. I think I was there for like 6 months. I was in Santa Cruz. And there's some big market stations in KFRC in San Francisco. But I was at this one radio station up in Chico. The only news in 6 months was that a bear crossed the road. It's like, yeah, pretty thrilling. "Hey guys, the bear still crossed the road. I'll be back on the air tomorrow." I guess the townspeople found that exciting. But yeah, so I've done some major market radio and had my own little radio station program called Law Matters, where we would get like phony calls from people about bogus law cases and just give them really horrible advice. Like, I went to the doctor, and when I left, there was like a toy boat in my rectum. And I said, "Oh, really? Well, are you going to sue the doctor or the toy manufacturer?" Just giving them horrible I said, aren't you a little bit culpable yourself for allowing a toy boat to enter into the anal passage of your life? If I were you, I'd sue yourself, but I don't know if that would work.
So I'm assuming that was your favorite project of all.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Because often the audience didn't know if we were just goofing or if it was a real case, because a lot of my friends would call in and they would sound like incredibly earnest. And so it was great because we could get people right and left. And some people were stupid enough to call and say, "Hey, was that a real caller?" No, of course it was.
I get that a lot.
Everything's real.
I get that a lot with like the guests we fuck with. Like people are like, is this guy for real? And I'm like, yes, that guy was for real. Like I get a lot of people. I get a lot of people like.
Guy standing by. He's outside your door right now.
Roel from the world of Ro. He's always like, was that presidential guy like or King Who? He's like, yeah. Did you? Is this a friend of yours you made up? And I'm like, no, dude. This is they really do this shit.
I know. I'll send you his birth certificate, which of course I made on Photoshop, but it's real for me.
Do you own your own production company, Ben?
Oh yeah, it's called Public Motion Pictures, and date, we've made 3 movies. The Injustice System in America, which was that documentary I was telling about the unfair treatment of people of color in the justice system. And then the second movie I made, which has not been released, is called Becoming Jody. It's kind of an experimental, kind of David Lynch type film. It's about this lady who drops her kid off at the neighbor's. The Robinsons, and she comes back as a small androgynous pirate. And so that's a little weird. I'm not sure if there's an audience for that yet, but at least I like watching it. So it was worth $100,000. When I'm bored at night, just watch my own movie. What the hell?
I think you get an audience as long as you just keep saying, like, it's like a David Lynch movie. Eraserhead.
Yeah. I haven't been able to leverage the social media with it yet, so... I called up David and said, hey, I got a movie that you might like, and he just hung up on me.
Give me his number. We'll call him now.
Yeah, I wish I had it on me. I made contact with him through his website. He's like Mr. Spiritual Meditator. I'm meditating right now. I can't really help you. Okay, well, why don't you pick up the phone? Well, I don't know.
Eraserhead is like a bad acid trip, man.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I'm on Mulholland Drive right now, and eating some black velvet. Leave me alone. Wait, there's some Twin Peaks in my mouth. Oh, no. That's my ex-wife.
What is, David, what is Sonic Boom? Is that like
yeah. So Sonic Box.
Yes.
Sonic Box is kind of an interesting experiment. They have, and you can check it out anytime. SonicBox.com. I'm not broadcasting tonight. But what is this? They claim that it's the most popular chat room in the world, and they get millions of visitors. It's basically attractive women offering to take off their shirt or something in a private chat.
Oh, okay.
I just started doing interviews and comedy.
Yeah, I thought it was like Ustream, because I saw you have a show on there.
Yeah, the Ben Topper show. That's my show, and it's kind of a weird thing because there are times when I'm sitting there for like 8 hours just bullshitting off the top of my head, kind of like I am right now.
Wow.
Yeah, there could be very few. Like if you're on at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Some guy from Delaware saying, "Is that your hair, or is that somebody else's?" That's about, I guess they call them trolls or something. They come in and they just make stupid comments and leave. All right, well, if that's entertaining to you, just come on at any time and make a weird comment and leave.
Do you take your shirt off?
I would have asked because I get $1.99 a minute.
Slim,
all right,
you're going on.
I'm gonna go on there tonight. I'm gonna get you naked.
There you go.
And Slambo's got Christmas money.
For $3.99, I'll give myself a free Sir Willie. I don't know. Whatever that means. Is that a movie, Free Willy? Is that something you need to do yourself? Or is that something you have to do somebody else? Does it involve a whale? I don't know.
It's got to involve the whale.
Yeah. It's a whale of a time.
Absolutely. I'll get Bridget from next door to come in. She used to work at San Diego at SeaWorld, but she wasn't an employee. She was in the water. And she was just like, when the whale was sick, they just used her, Bridget, flip over. And have her give me a free hand job. I don't know. We can just keep moving the prices up to $4.99.
How much will you pay, Slambo?
I don't know. I heard $3.99.
You got a $3.99. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Get me up on Sonic Box. I'll do anything. I gotta pay this limo driver, so I need to be in the black pretty quickly.
What projects do you have planned for the next year, Ben?
Well, I'm trying to increase the Sonic Box platform, and probably I'm thinking about doing like Periscope and live. Now Facebook has this live function that my ex-wife was telling me about. Thinking about checking that out. I don't see a tremendous future for Sonic Box. It's not monetized very well, so I think there are better ways that I can reach out and do more interesting interviews, and also, once I get this Taking Liberty movie, once that's done, I'm going to be devoting quite a bit of time on
do you primarily interview on your show?
Well, we've had a lot of other comics, of course, being in LA. It's accessible. So, we've had people like from Flappers Comedy Club. We've had guys come on and talk about film distribution. I might try to start. I have a new guy who approached me who wants me to start promoting some of his new musicians, like a lot of rap artists and bands that come to Los Angeles thinking they're going to be the next Maroon 5 or whatever.
You got to be careful with the musicians. Like, I learned that early on. Like,
exactly.
Comedians are good, and actors, they're okay. But yeah, fucking musicians, you got to pick and choose.
Yeah, you're right. Some of them are really awful. They're just like, come in the studio, like in some Hare Krishna outfit, making some weird noises at top of their lungs. I'm doing a Gregorian chant, but not my room. Thank you anyhow. That record you sent me sounded kind of like Neil Young, and you sound like a drunk monk. Sorry. I'm changing my style. I'll do it somewhere else. Thanks for the notice. Don't come in here and change styles on me. By the way, that donkey just made a huge mess on my carpet, so please get out of here.
We need a live donkey.
We do.
Our intern.
Everybody does.
Our intern has a goat he works with.
Yeah, I have a coworker that's a goat.
And it rapes a lot.
It humps them every morning.
No, it rapes chickens every morning. All the time. It's probably raping a chicken.
Wrong with a goat. Any kind of livestock.
When are we going to have a livestock show?
I don't know. I'll ask my boss. Maybe we could broadcast from the barnyard.
No, they come in here. I want to see, like, rams fucking butting the shit out of your book collection.
Yeah, the landlady's going to love that.
She would.
Yeah, you know what? She might. She might.
She likes to
ram
give
action to the balls will be entertaining to everybody. Believe me, your ratings will go through the roof. You can't miss. We can't miss with livestock.
that. We should go adopt a couple dogs.
Oh, definitely.
Pimples.
They have to be sheepdogs, though.
I was thinking rabid.
You bring any of these animals in, the cat's just going to, inflate like he did the last time.
He does.
Well, the cat tries to fight us every week.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's like being a dick on the floor right now.
Yeah, just get like a human-sized cat and human-sized rabbit and let them wrestle and let them dress up like Andy Kaufman or something.
I'm curious about your first documentary. You said you recently got the rights back for it, so that means you sold the rights. So, when you sell the rights, you just get, a straight-up amount of money, and then you realize, oh, this movie is making more than what I got, and you go and pay it back? How does that work?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. Actually, I have this distribution company that was supposed to give me 50% of all the profits. And at a certain point, it would turn to 60%. And at the time, I thought, well, that sounded like a pretty good deal. And they were going to take the film to all these film festivals, like AFM in Santa Monica is a pretty famous film festival where you can sell the film. Well, right out the gate, they sold it to Netflix. And it had, tons of hits and streams and DVD rentals. And then it turned out that they lied to me, and they said, oh, your film didn't make any money. Oh, so how could that be possible? Well, what they did, they had this scam where every time they went to a film festival, they would basically charge each filmmaker as if they were the only film there. So if you have 20 filmmakers, they charge each filmmaker the entire fee for that film festival. So it could be like $20,000 or $30,000, and then, oh yeah, sorry, you didn't make any money this month because our expenses were $10,000. Well, they had $20,000 in revenue, but they had 2 different books.
Oh, wow.
Distribution companies are notorious for this kind of bullshit. So, luckily, I only had a 2-year deal with them, and after the 2 years, the rights reverted back to me by contract.
Cool.
So now I own the rights, so I can do whatever I want with the film.
That's cool.
Now, are you getting any of the Netflix money from it?
No, I never did, because the deal was through the distributor. The distributor got everything,
Uh-huh.
and then I threatened Netflix and said, sorry, we had a deal with your distributor. So they're out of business. They don't even exist anymore.
Oh.
So it was a freaking nightmare.
I need to start one of those companies.
It's a fly-by-night
Good plan.
fly-by-night organization.
Create one of those companies.
So you just
we showed a loss, and we're not going to be able to pay you this month.
So what you got to do then is with the mockumentary, you got to make sure you very much hype up from the creator of whatever your last documentary
Yeah,
was.
that thing did good. So
Yeah, exactly. Probably should just try to distribute it myself. Because most of these distributors are total scam artists.
Just sleaze bags.
That's real shitty.
Yeah, that's shitty, man. I just copied Slim.
But I learned my lesson,
Yeah.
When you're young, so even though I had a law background, I thought, oh, these guys seem legit. And it came to me based on a referral from another filmmaker.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
A bunch of crap.
I was wondering if you added a bit of an inside with that.
Well, it's just that, luckily the contract was only 2 years.
Yeah.
So some filmmakers will give rights away forever, in perpetuity. They don't know what that means. What does in perpetuity mean? Oh, that's a very large condom. It means it wraps around the earth. No, that means forever, buddy. These guys don't know. Ben, what does in perpetuity mean? That's a large gum wrapper. Oh, okay, thank you.
It's the cosmic condom.
It's a backpack full of chocolate chips.
Ben, are you
Exactly.
Are you a comedian as well?
I just stand up. I do some improv. I started off doing improv. We had this one show called Justice for None, where we would improv court cases. So the audience, they would suggest different cases and characters. One night we were performing at a small club called the Marsh Mock Cafe, and Robin Williams jumped on the stage, took over as the judge. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
I talked to my mom
Williams.
afterwards. My mom fell in love with him. It's like, oh my God, he's so cool.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was a great part of my life.
I saw an old Robin Williams stand-up, and he's just going into the crowd,
Dude, everything.
and he just starts taking people's drinks and just drinking.
He was unbelievable at improvising. He's probably the most brilliant stand-up who could also improvise and he would just go on stage and just bullshit for an hour about whatever came into his head. Now, of course, he's probably on acid, but that's still okay.
Yeah, the one where he's doing the sperm impersonation.
Dude, he was funny. Everything he did was gold.
He's just really brilliant and a really cool guy.
Yeah.
I got to work on a couple film projects with him too, and he's just really nice to everybody. Even if you were the person serving the food in craft service, he just treated everybody with respect.
Wow.
Just a really humble, great guy. He was never thought that he was better than anybody else, or tried to make you feel less than him. He was just a very special guy.
That's cool. Ben, we have to wrap this up, dude, but where can everybody find you?
Oh, so if you go to sonicbox.com and you just type in Ben Toper Show, you can find me. Or you can also find me at publicmotionpictures.com. That's my email address. I respond to all emails, unless you're trying to sell me a piece of Hawaii that you don't own. But publicmotionpictures.com or sonicbox.com, Ben Toper Show.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. You guys rock.
You too, man.
Let me know if you give me the future. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one.
Ben, have a good one, Ben.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Later, dude.